Chapter 11. Nature's Treasures. Air. Air is all around us, but we cannot see it and can only feel it. We can feel presence of air when we see the newspaper fluttering or the leaves of the plants rustling. When we feel our hair swaying, we feel the presence of air around us. Moving air is called wind. The speed of the wind affects and changes the weather of a place. Very strong winds cause storms and sometimes it blows gently as a breeze. Composition of air. Air is a mixture of many gases and suspended particles. Nitrogen comprises 78% of the air, oxygen 21%, argon 0.94%, and carbon dioxide 0.03%. There is also water vapor present in the air. Its amount keeps fluctuating with seasons. At ground level, a considerable amount of dust, smoke, and other pollutants are also present in the air around us. Water. Water is the most wonderful gift to us from nature. Life on the earth would not be possible without it. The earth is called the blue planet because of the abundance of water present on its surface. Water is used by a family for various activities every day. How much water is used daily in your home for various activities? Guess the activities for which water is not used in a house. Where does water come from? Water can be found in many places on the earth. Rain is our main source of water. We get water either from surface water or from groundwater. Water found on the surface of the earth is called surface water. Surface water is found in rivers, ponds, and lakes, as well as in seas and oceans. Rainwater passes through the soil into the earth's surface and becomes underground water or groundwater. The earth's oceans hold 97% of the world's surface water. The other 3% of the earth's water is fresh water as shown in the image alongside. Of that 3% of fresh water, 70% is stored in glaciers and polar ice caps, 29% is stored as groundwater, and only 1% is easily accessible fresh water. This means that of the entire world's surface water, only 0.03% is easily accessible fresh water. How much water do we use? Now, we have seen that we need water for various day-to-day activities. Do you have an idea about the quantity of water we use in a day? Do you now have an idea about the amount of water your family uses in a day for various activities? Can you now calculate how much water your family uses in a month or in a year? How can we conserve water? For water conservation, it is necessary that the government, the community of people and each individual participate in it. Rainwater harvesting. Harvesting water is the method of collecting water for use during times that water is scarce. In rooftop rainwater harvesting system, rainwater is collected from rooftops to an underground storage tank through pipes. This water may contain impurities and can be used after filtration. Instead of collecting this rainwater in the tank, the pipes can also go directly into a pit in the ground. This water then seeps into the soil to recharge or refill the groundwater. Energy from the sun. The sun is a powerful source of energy that plays a crucial role in sustaining life on Earth. It provides both heat and light, which are essential for a wide range of natural processes and human activities. Here's an in-depth look at the different ways we use the sun's energy and its importance to our world. Uses of solar energy. Drying clothes. When clothes are hung out in the sunlight, the heat from the sun helps evaporate the water from the fabric. This process of evaporation is much faster in sunlight than in the shade or indoors, where there is less heat. Sunlight not only speeds up the drying process but also helps in disinfecting clothes, making them fresher and cleaner. Photosynthesis in plants. Plants are unique in their ability to use sunlight to produce their own food through a process called photosynthesis. In this process, plants absorb sunlight using a pigment called chlorophyll, which is found in their leaves. They combine sunlight with water and carbon dioxide to produce glucose, a type of sugar that provides energy for their growth. Oxygen is released as a byproduct of photosynthesis, which is essential for the survival of most living organisms on Earth, including humans. Solar energy applications. Solar panels. Solar panels, also known as photovoltaic panels, are installed on rooftops or other surfaces to capture sunlight and convert it into electricity. This renewable source of energy helps power homes, businesses, and even street lights. Solar panels reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, which helps in reducing pollution. Solar cookers. Solar cookers use sunlight to cook food. They are designed to concentrate sunlight into a small area, creating enough heat to cook meals. Solar cookers are an eco-friendly alternative to conventional cooking methods that rely on gas or electricity. Solar water heaters. Solar water heaters use the sun's energy to heat water for various uses, such as bathing, washing and heating. These systems typically consist of solar collectors that capture and convert sunlight into heat, which is then transferred to the water in a storage tank. Solar water heaters reduce the need for electricity or gas to heat water, making them an energy-efficient option. Role of sun in nature. The sun is essential for life on Earth because it drives many natural processes. Energy transfer. Plant growth. The sun's energy supports the growth of plants by enabling photosynthesis. Plants use this energy to create their own food, which forms the basis of the food chain. Herbivores, plant-eating animals, consume plants, and carnivores, meat-eating animals, feed on herbivores. This chain of energy transfer ultimately connects all living organisms back to the sun. Climate and weather. The sun also influences the Earth's climate and weather patterns. It warms the atmosphere and surface of the Earth, which affects air currents, ocean currents, and weather systems. This, in turn, influences the distribution of plants and animals across different regions. Forests. Forests are a natural home for many wild animals, including birds and insects. Forests provide food and shelter to them. In nature, every animal depends on other life forms for survival. The diversity of life forms ensures food for every living being. However, over the years, the forest cover has been decreasing, mainly due to human activities like large-scale cutting of trees. It takes many years to grow a new forest or restore lost forests. Therefore, we must preserve and use forests responsibly so that they get enough time to regenerate. What are the uses of forests? Even if we never set foot in a forest, we still depend directly on forests for many things. Forests are a source of clean air, water, energy, wood, and products, such as food material and medicine. A list of few things that forests do for us are as follows. Forests provide materials such as wood for constructing buildings and furniture, or for burning as firewood to produce energy. Forests provide a habitat for different kinds of plants and animals, which helps to maintain biodiversity. Forests help maintain the water cycle. Increased humidity due to transpiration results in the formation of rain clouds. Forests protect the quality of air by filtering out pollutants. Many types of forest trees can absorb pollutants from the air, acting like giant air filters. Forests play an essential role in the nutrient cycling process by providing organic components to the soil. Forests prevent soils from being washed or worn away, erosion. Forests absorb the greenhouse gas carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and produce oxygen through photosynthesis. This gives us clean air to breathe while helping to mitigate the negative effects of climate change. Several thousand plant species grow in forests and are used as medicine to cure a variety of diseases. What if there were no forests? Without trees, the air would be too polluted for us to breathe. There would be a drastic reduction in the amount of oxygen in the air and an increase in the amount of carbon dioxide as well as air-polluting gases. Without trees, soil erosion will increase, and with the topsoil washed away, the soil would not be able to grow plants or crops. Without trees, there will be no transpiration, no rain-forming clouds and no rains. This would lead to large-scale drought. Without trees, there will be no paper, medicines, wood, rubber, fruits, tea, coffee and a whole range of tree-based products. What can we do to conserve forests? Given that forests are so important for our survival and that they are at risk from both natural and human-made forces, we need to think about how we can manage and protect forests. Some measures to conserve forests are listed below. Deforestation should be managed very strictly. Alternative sources of energy, such as biogas, should be used to supplement firewood. Forest fires should be contained as soon as possible. Reforestation of the deforested areas should be practiced. Reforestation is the process of large-scale replanting on land that had been previously deforested. Large afforestation drives should be undertaken. Afforestation is the large-scale planting of trees on land which never had any forests. This is usually undertaken to convert abandoned and degraded agricultural lands into forests. This helps establish a new forest in land that previously had none. Soil, rocks and minerals. Soil. Soil is a mixture of mineral and organic matter that contains air, water and microorganisms. It provides a medium in which plants grow, a habitat for animals, and storage for water. Many processes take place in soils, including the recycling of nutrients, purification of water, and exchange of gases with the atmosphere. Soil is therefore vital to life on Earth. Soil is a natural resource that provides many benefits to humans, including food. Soil provides nutrients and water for plants and animals. Habitat. Soil provides a home for soil organisms and other life forms. Clean air and water. Soil helps to clean the air and water. Soil formation. Soil is formed by the disintegration, breaking apart, of rocks by actions of the sun, water and living organisms over a long time, thousands of years. There are different types of soils. Some are good for growing certain types of plants while some are good for making bricks for buildings. Forests have a variety of soils. Soil is a precious treasure that supports biodiversity. Rocks. Rocks are naturally occurring solid materials composed of one or more minerals. They form the foundation of Earth's crust and are found everywhere from deep within the Earth's surface to the highest mountains. Rocks play a crucial role in shaping the landscape, influencing soil formation, and providing resources for construction and industrial uses. Rocks are used in the construction of houses, buildings, temples, roads, dams, etc. Some rocks, like slate, are used for roofing and laterite can be used as a building material, like bricks. Some of the important rocks are granite, sandstone and marble. Human beings have been using rocks to make tools such as hand axes and arrowheads since thousands of years. Rocks play a vital role in our lives. It takes thousands to millions of years to form rocks. Therefore, it is important to conserve and use them responsibly. Minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring, inorganic substances with a definite chemical composition and a crystalline structure. They are the building blocks of rocks and are formed through various geological processes over millions of years. Each mineral is characterized by its unique properties, such as hardness, color, luster, and crystal form, which help in its identification. Important metals such as aluminium, gold, copper, and iron are extracted from minerals. Minerals are used in the manufacturing of airplanes, cars, jewelry, cosmetics, and electrical and electronic equipment. For example, the basic mobile phones that we use contain many minerals like gold, silver, copper, cobalt, etc. Fossil fuels. The natural resources which are formed from the dead remains of living organisms are known as fossil fuels. They are formed essentially from the remains of microorganisms and plants that got buried deep inside the earth and were converted to petroleum, natural gas and coal. It takes millions of years for these fuels to form. Common types of fuels. Petrol and diesel. Petrol and diesel are two of the most commonly used fuels for vehicles. They are derived from petroleum, a type of fossil fuel. Petroleum is formed from the remains of ancient marine organisms and plants buried under the Earth's surface. Over millions of years, heat and pressure transform these remains into petroleum, which is refined into petrol and diesel. These fuels are essential for transportation but contribute to air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions when burnt. Natural gas. Natural gas is another crucial fossil fuel. It consists mainly of methane and is used for cooking, heating, and generating electricity. In its compressed form, known as compressed natural gas, CNG, it is used as a cleaner alternative to petrol and diesel for vehicles. CNG produces fewer pollutants and is less harmful to the environment compared to traditional fossil fuels. Coal. Coal is primarily used for generating electricity. It is found in various regions in India, including Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh. Coal is mined and burned to produce steam, which drives turbines to generate electricity. However, coal combustion releases significant amounts of carbon dioxide and other pollutants, contributing to air pollution and climate change. Fossil fuels and their environmental impact. Fossil fuels are finite resources that take millions of years to form. The excessive use of these fuels leads to their depletion and environmental degradation. Burning fossil fuels release smoke and carbon dioxide, which cause air pollution and global warming. To avoid such situation, we need to explore alternate sources of energy. Natural resources. Nature's treasures fulfill our needs. They are essential resources to sustain all life forms on the earth. For example, we get heat and light from the sun, water from rivers, and food from plants and animals. These resources which we get from nature are called natural resources. We also use natural resources to make many useful things for our convenience. For example, electric bulbs, furniture, solar panels, bicycles, etc. make our lives comfortable. All such resources created by human beings are called human-made resources. You have learnt about various natural resources such as air, water, energy from the sun, forests, soil, rocks, minerals and fossil fuels. Some of these natural resources get replenished through natural processes over a period of time. Thus, resources which get renewed, replenished or restored within a reasonable period of time are called renewable resources. Air, water, and forest are some of the examples of renewable natural resources. Nature renews them. We should use our natural resources judiciously. On the other hand, fossil fuels take millions of years to form. They are found in limited quantities and once used, they get exhausted. They are not produced or replenished within a reasonable period of time. These resources are called non-renewable resources. Examples of non-renewable natural resources are minerals, soil, rocks, coal, petroleum and natural gas. We get these resources from nature and also make things using them for our consumption. Therefore, we must conserve our natural resources and use them responsibly without wasting them. This way, we can continue to fulfill our present needs while also saving for the future, without harming the environment. Sustainable uses of resources. We must use natural resources responsibly and ensure they are preserved for future generations. This practice, known as sustainable use of resources, involves using resources in a way that does not harm the environment or deplete them. For example, to reduce air pollution, we could use electric vehicles instead of those powered by fossil fuels. To conserve soil, we should plant trees and avoid unnecessary deforestation. Additionally, alternatives to wood can be used in furniture making. We all live surrounded by nature, benefiting from its many gifts. Fertile soil provides us with food, flowing streams offer fresh water, and green plants give us pure air and nourishment. Truly, our lives are a gift from nature. We rely on these invaluable treasures of the earth. It is our responsibility to use and conserve natural resources wisely, so we can meet our needs without harming the planet or compromising the ability of future generations to do the same.